Howdy, Gary Edmonds here. I am the storage manager, and I want to talk a little bit about development. You'll notice behind me we've got this thoroughly undeveloped piece of ground, but we're looking at doing something with it. But it brings to mind a couple of problems that we've had recently, or that we've run across. Let me ask you, what do you think the biggest challenge to development is these days? And if your answer is interest rates or supply chain shortage or labor issues, you're wrong. The biggest hassle and the biggest hurdle to development is our own government. The last 30, 40 years, they have placed so many regulations and they've built so many plans and rules and recommended usage and whatnot that it's just getting awfully hard to develop in a lot of places. And I realized that everybody that did that had the best plan in mind at the time. But if that plan's 14 years old and absolutely nobody has developed that area for something like, manufacturing in the US, then maybe it's time to make a new plan. Just sticking to your guns and saying, no, this ground has to be for manufacturing, in spite of the fact that there's very little manufacturing being developed, that's a problem. And that's one of the problems that these developers, and myself included, is faced with. We need to encourage economic development and not try and place so many hurdles in front of it. Are some regulations important? Absolutely. But you can't tell me that the world's going to come to a screeching halt if we killed about 10 to 20% of the regulations that are facing development. There's just too many hurdles. It's just too hard to do what should be a relatively simple thing. So that's my message for the day. Don't mean to be negative and don't mean to criticize one party or the other, because it's all of them. But we got to make it a little easier to operate in this country if we want to avoid or come out of a recession, depending on your perspective. And that's my message. I'm Gary Edmonds. I am the storage manager.